The real practice starts when I carry the sacredness into my messy, ordinary parts of my day, right? And live that life like the whole thing is a temple. Think about that, Kaustubha.
Okay.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a spiritual podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator of the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustubha Das. Today is Friday, July 18, 2025. It's episode 1643. Welcome to the show. The show must go on. Mr. Kaustubha, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
All right. I had a really nice class last night in Kaustubha, in Saratoga Springs. Kristen from Yoga Mandali. I tell you, I walked into there. It's like walking into a Bhakti center. There's pictures of Krishna everywhere. They've got Baby Gopal as their logo on their shirt. If you're in the Saratoga Springs area, I recommend that studio. And
are there nice springs there in Saratoga?
Are you kidding?
Yeah, tell me.
Saratoga is the land of healing springs.
Really?
There's different spring water, and it comes from, they've turned them into fountains that you can collect. People go there from all over to collect the water. Some to heal inside the body, some to heal the outside of the body, some to heal different parts of the body. And if you hang out in Saratoga, you'll find people who are very, very tuned in with it.
Yeah.
It was the Native Americans.
Oh yes.
Were behind. They used it as a healing place, and when soldiers would go down, because a big war battle.
The Lenape tribe?
I thought they were the Mohawks, but I'm not positive.
The Mohicans?
Not the Mohicans. That was a misnomer. The last of the Mohicans were actually the Mohawks.
Achha.
Get your First Nations
That's
right,
why I'm
man.
asking, Raghunath.
What the hell?
If I can't ask, how am I ever going to learn?
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not getting all on you, but anyway, it's springs, healing place. People would, if you drink the water, you'd be like, "This is funky water," but it's got a lot of healing benefits.
Okay.
And
You're confident of that,
would go there. I trust the spring people. There's spring people who are like really dialed into the springs, and there's all different springs around the town you can go to. And there's a geyser.
Oh.
There's a geyser there. It's a very cool place, actually.
Okay.
Anyway, Christian Maillet was there. Sammy Gowan was there. And the studio. And, there's been just Bhakti in that studio for a long time.
Going back
we'll go back to Gopi Manjari.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was probably 20 years ago or something, right?
I know. It's been passed around. And you can tell the people who are running the studio have been touched by the heart of Bhakti. And a bunch of people listen to the podcast. And it was a sweet setting. Love chanting. And
Karen Score, she's from around there too.
Karen Score, that was her studio before, and then Gopi before that.
Right.
And then, our friend Justin and his ex-wife had that studio. And,
did they?
They had another studio down the block.
Okay.
She I remember she said she listens to the podcast all the time. She called me, talked to her a few years back. And then Cindy, Sita Sundari, owned a studio there.
That's right.
It's like a Bhakti hotbed.
Part of the Bhakti belt, perhaps.
Part of the Bhakti belt.
Mm-hmm.
Some mystical stuff going on there.
Excellent, Raghunath.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Writing, especially, trying to put in some
Good
hours.
for you. Good for you.
Helps
clear your head, organize your thoughts.
Well, I don't know. It does, I suppose.
Yeah. I got the Chief and Lori coming over today for the big Raghu and Lori Pag 3rd annual
Flow, Fly, and Chant Retreat.
Flow, Fly, and Chant Retreat. It's sold out and looking fun and good and happening.
Good forecast.
And tonight, Tom Essie's coming. We're going to play
Something Divine.
Something Divine.
Okay.
Film. And tomorrow night, Kirtan for the locals.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Any other announcements, Mara?
Yeah, we should mention there's no shows this weekend, but we'll be back on Monday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
Both of you.
Yeah. And Tarun wants me to remind everybody to like and subscribe
To like and
That's his
subscribe
thing.
what?
to our podcast.
Our YouTube
okay.
channel.
YouTube,
Our YouTube
yeah.
channel.
What about his?
Nah,
He's not pushing it, but
yeah,
Okay.
he's pushing ours
he
for us.
doesn't like our followers necessarily to follow him.
Okay.
He likes to find new followers.
Okay.
He doesn't want to just get handed stuff. He wants to
Yeah.
work for them.
What's he doing on it though? Is he doing magic and stuff, or comedy or something?
He's trying to find his niche, I think. He's
Okay.
done a few different things.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the show.
Let's
All
do
right.
it. No,
Our nugget, Mara, can you deliver a nugget to the people today?
I'd love to. Our nugget today comes from Khalil Gibran.
oh yeah.
He's on the A list of our nuggets. I'd say
He's good.
probably one of the most quotable. If there had to be like some visual aid
I
graphic,
suppose. I mean, Thich Nhat Hanh has been big, although it's been a while since we've gone.
those
to
two
him.
are physically fighting it out for number one.
They hate each other.
Number one, yeah. Then they get tackled by Thomas Aquinas or
Thomas Merton,
Thomas
Richard
Murray.
Rohr come in.
Richard Rohr kicks the door down. Philosophy brawl.
Henry David Thoreau comes in there with a big stick.
Does a
Rock.
double leg takedown. Lifts and drops St. Francis.
But,
Come
but
on,
you
this
know,
isn't
so much
funny.
of this, I've never read anything from him except the Prophet.
Khalil.
Yeah, I imagine he has some other good stuff, but just from that one little book, so much is there. So this is from the Prophet. Of course, the Prophet is this story of this. It's a whole town basically coming up to this man that they all admire for his wisdom, who's about to leave forever, and they're asking him these big kind of broad questions. And what this nugget today is in the section where they're asking him about work. Tell us about work.
Okay.
It's interesting if these guys are like, do they write one book and the other ones just get overlooked? That happens sometimes. It's the equivalent of a one-hit wonder.
Hey, yeah, but it's big. One song is one thing, but one book, that's like, I think that one book can establish you more than one song, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Oh.
So Khalil writes, your daily life is your temple and your religion. Whenever you enter into it, take with you your all. I love it.
Can you read that again, Mara, please?
Khalil.
Your daily life is your temple and your religion.
Okay.
Whenever you enter into it, take with you your all.
I love
Take
this.
with you,
I love this. This is me. This is me.
Is
He's
it?
talking.
Oh, talking to you, or are you perfectly embody this? What are you trying to say? This is
Perfectly
me.
embodied, but this is my life aspiration.
Okay.
It's like the line from Khalil Gibran. How do you say it? Gibran?
Gibran.
Gibran. It speaks to me because it kind of calls out the way we sometimes treat religion. It's what people like. I don't like spirituality, so it's the way people treat religion in one sense. Like it's something we clock into, clock out of.
Mhm.
We walk to the temple, we walk to the church, we walk to even the ashram. We do our puja in India, like we do my puja. I
Okay.
don't know anything about sometimes you meet an Indian and they say, well, I really don't know much about it, but I grew up, we did a puja. It's the same thing. We don't know much about our religion, but I went to church every Sunday. Then we walk out the door and we leave it behind, like back to the real world, back to the real world that I enjoy my life in. And I just did that as some type of almost like penance, or like, okay, suck it up, be nice for an hour and a half or whatever, and back to life. But what he's saying here is that your real world is your temple.
Okay.
Your daily life, your job, your family, your struggles, your work in the world, right? Your morning routine, right? Your morning routine, even washing the dishes. Not that I wash them.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Mara's like, maybe I ought to try that. Step into that church.
When he entered that synagogue, oh holy Rabbi Raghunath. Krishna.
Yeah, washing
Anyway,
the dishes. That's your temple.
So what you practice,
Yeah.
what you do on a regular basis, that's your religion, right? And the key is, you can't walk into your own life half asleep, like giving the bare minimum. The most mindlessness shouldn't be mindlessness. he says, what is it? Take with you your all.
Yeah.
Take with you your all. Bring your full self.
Bring your
It's nice.
mind,
Bring
right?
your awareness, bring your
Yeah.
integrity, bring your
Yeah.
devotion into every single thing you do. This is when people talk about mindfulness.
Yeah.
This is mindfulness for me. It's mindfulness in devotion. It's mindfulness in the ritual, but it's also mindfulness in the prayer. It's mindfulness in the 16 rounds I have to chant, or the 1 round I have to chant. Even this whole thing, I have to chant my rounds. Such a horrible languaging, huh?
Mm.
You don't have to do anything. We want to be, I'm eager
Right.
to glorify and remember. That's the way it should be. I shouldn't have my spirituality as a burden. Come on. So anyway, that's a little squirreling away, but so that's for me. That separates just going through the motions, perfunctory acts, from actually transformation. You can perform all the rituals you want, but if you don't bring the consciousness into your life, right,
Yeah.
into the way you raise your kids, the way you talk to your kids, the way you spend time with your kids, you spend time with your spouse, spend time with your garden, right? Spend time with yourself. There's a value of just yourself. Anyway, that's why I love this idea, because it's not saying rituals are bad. They're good. Because people get to this point, these rituals, it's just a ritual. There's nothing behind it. No, 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 no. It's not saying rituals are bad.
Only if you treat it that way is it empty,
Yeah,
right?
then it becomes an empty, meaningless, hocus pocus, thoughtlessness, right? Like, what did the Bible call it? Mindless repetition or something of.
Yeah, about the chanting, the mindless
Yeah.
repetition, the names of God or something.
Yeah. So it shouldn't be mindlessness. It should be mindfulness. If we leave all that behind, then we step outside the temple. We're missing the point, right? The real practice starts when I carry the sacredness into my messy, ordinary parts of my day, right? And live that life like the whole thing is a temple. Think about that, Kaustubha.
Okay. Raghunath, because Tarun is in the room and he's trying to sleep, you are like an NPR Raghunath today.
I'm a little NPR.
You're
Well,
like,
maybe
you're
Raghunath's
toned down.
evolving. Maybe he's self-controlled. Maybe he's pulling back a little. No,
Well, even
kids.
that, like
got
you
a
might have
kids.
been, your sensitivity is noteworthy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
But I like what you shared here, though. I agree with you that there's always this kind of I don't know. You could say thesis, antithesis, and synthesis kind of thinking going on,
Mm.
and and I think it plays out in that religion versus spirituality kind of thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
wherein the religion is saying you must do these rituals, you must go to church every Sunday, you must go to the mass. When I was growing up, I didn't even get it. Like what was happening there in that room, like this,
I know.
like like the whole thing
Like-
was about this ritual about like the body of Christ. Like even the talk and all of that was kind of like perfunctory, in a sense, leading up to the playing out of that ritual, where every week you could come and receive that sacrament and hopefully transform. It kind
I
of
wish it
just
was
went right over my
explained
head.
a little better.
A little bit.
Just a little better. Explain it.
Maybe we were thick. Maybe we weren't taking it in.
But the whole going to the church itself was a ritual. You get in the car. The family gets in the car. The family goes to the church. The family sits down. The mother gives the donation when the basket thing comes around, right? The family goes to the donut shop afterwards. The
Right.
family comes home and gets on with,
part of the ritual.
Sunday football,
Yeah. So then you have rituals, and unless there's some really dynamic, and I suppose this is what the liturgy is about, right? What the talk is about, is it's supposed to infuse that ritual so that you keep it alive and you keep it fresh, you keep it dynamic, so that there is some transformation going on. But it tends to you just like you're bored out of your skull, like through that stuff, and-
All the fidgeting I did with that
Oh,
little clip
man.
that held the thing. I'm just like clipping that,
I rem-
snapping that thing.
I remember I used to, without realizing, I'd be like humming some song, like, like I'd had this song going on in my head, and my parents would be like nudging me, like, "Hey, shut up."
You know what I did like about the Catholic Mass? I liked when they say, Now it's time to grant each other.
You shake hands.
You
Peace
shake
be
hands,
with
a
you and
sign
also
of
with you.
peace.
Yeah.
And you
Peace be
shake
with
the
you.
hands of the people next to you.
You
And
do,
all
you
shake
do
hands. I
that
was like,
kind of stuff now, right?
I do that. I do that before
Yeah.
my yoga class. Say hi to
Yeah.
your neighbor.
Yeah.
It's a nice icebreaker. And I thought, like, this is the highest point of the whole church right now. Is like you say hi to
Peace
some
be with you.
guy,
And also
some
with you.
weird guy next to you don't know. I'm going to shake hands with this guy. He might be nuts, but I'm going to just say hello to him.
Yeah. So, okay. So in any case, you have ritual that is potentially empty. And then you have like this, I'm not into that ritual, man. I walk in nature and I'm spiritual, like I'm
Right.
beyond all that.
Screw your religion.
Yeah,
Nature, the
yeah.
ocean is my temple.
And there may be something to what they're saying, it's like, hey, you're missing the point, But the synthesis is like, no, you never really understood the ritual. The ritual is supposed to nourish you so that when you go out into nature, you see it all in connection with God. When you in whatever place you find yourself, your awareness doesn't become overwhelmed by that setting. For instance, in the church or the temple, theoretically, it's supposed to be easy to bring your mind to God, and it's supposed to help you build up that vision and that strength of vision, so that no matter what environment you find yourself in, you have the strength for your mind to go to God, whether it's in my workplace or wherever it be. And if you can do that, then that place becomes your temple as well, because your mind is on God there. Right. So they're meant to serve each other. They're meant to, now of course, Bhagavatam is so clear about this, because Bhagavatam is like, the Srimad Bhagavatam is to the broader Vedic literature like saying, hey, you haven't gotten to the essence of it, right? You're going to church, but you're not building up your awareness and bringing it out into the world. Bhagavatam is like, it's all about the essence. Let's stay focused on it. And you get those verses in Bhagavatam. You know what? I'll read for you, Raghunath.
You're going to read to me?
I did a little summary of one section of Bhagavatam wherein the deity worship is being spoken of, right? It's the Nava-Yogendras are speaking to King Nimi. This is 11th canto, right? And so these really far out spiritualists are speaking. It's a gang of 9 of them, right? It's like
Gang.
they look like Raghunath. They got big beards and
I don't know
mustaches.
if you're allowed to call spiritualists together a gang.
It's a spiritual gang. And spiritual gangsters.
Spiritual gangster.
Yeah. So and they're speaking to this king, and they the king asks them, describe different levels of spiritual people, like, give me like the low level, the medium level, and the high level, and what they look like. And he describes the high level. He says they're seeing God everywhere. It doesn't matter where they are or who they're with. They have this vision where they see God within everything, and everything within God. And then they talk about like the lowest level, and they say this very interesting verse, right? What is Archayam eva hariye pujam ye shradheyate natad bhakteshu chanyeshu sabhakta prakrita smritaha, the materialistic bhakta, the low level materialistic devotee. They're characterized by, they go into the temple, there's God, I bow down my head, right? I can worship that God. I can recognize God there on that altar. Look at it, it looks just like Vishnu, or it looks just like Krishna, right? But as soon as they walk out, they don't see God anywhere. And it says, Natad bhakteshu chanyeshu, they don't treat the other devotees well. They don't see God in God's devotees or in the people in general. They can't see it. Such a person, they're just they haven't really gone deep into this. Even if they're making a show of it in the temple. I go to the temple every day, they're not, it's not working for them. They haven't figured out what the essence of it is and what it's all really about. So, and then in the next chapter, they describe worship, the rituals of worship that goes on in temples. And, our friend Sega created that beautiful book of, that about Vrindavan.
Yeah.
That has all those, he asked both of us to write an introduction to it.
Yeah. Did you read mine?
I did.
You did not.
I did.
You
Hey,
did
slow down. You see where your mind is right now?
I'm just curious if you read it. There's other things I wrote you haven't read.
That I didn't read it. I read it, Raghunath.
Even when I gifted you the Audible
I'm gonna
book.
do it. I'm gonna do it.
Are you?
I am. I swear. So in any case, uh, because when I looked at his book, a, it folds out. It's a beautiful book, beautiful photography. It's called, what is it called again? Vrindavan? Is it just called Vrindavan? I forget.
I think it's called Vrindavan,
Yeah.
but I can't
And
remember.
okay, but it's like there's all these photographs of like a temple or an altar in Vrindavan,
Mm.
and then next to that, there's a beautiful portrait of a resident of Vrindavan, of a devotee of Krishna. And as I was looking at it again and again, I would say they're both temples, right? Like the temple itself and the body of this devotee, enshrined in both is Krishna, Radha and Krishna. And so then I wrote about like how there's so many temples in Vrindavan, but and the reason that people visit these temples is to develop that love of Krishna and how it works. And so the Bhagavatam speaks of, and I kind of like I don't know what you call it, paraphrase, but I kind of like summarize the teachings there in the 11th canto that the Navayogendras give to King Nimi about deity worship. All right. And this is how it reads. It says, one who desires, this is from the 11th canto, 3rd chapter, beginning with text 47 till the end of the chapter.
Okay.
One who desires to quickly cut the knot of ego in the heart should worship the form of Krishna. With the blessings of one's revered instructor, one should approach the form of Krishna that one finds most dear. Right? How about you, Raghunath? Little baby Krishna.
Little baby Krishna, I find him very dear.
Okay, then there you go. Having bathed and marked one's forehead and body with the sacred symbols of devotion, right? They put on the tilak, right? I'm yours. I belong to you. I'm your servant, right? You're putting that on. You're thinking that way. One should gather the ingredients to be offered, including scented water. You do this every morning, right, Raghunath? Fragrant oils,
Rose water mixed
flower
with
garlands,
water.
maybe a little aguru incense,
A little aguru, yes.
and oil lamps. Then, sitting before the form of the Lord, one should carefully fix him in their mind and heart and present the offerings with the appropriate mantras.
Do this today.
There you go. With mind fully absorbed in love, one should meditate on oneself as the eternal servant of the Lord. Having concluded the worship, one should see and feel the presence of Krishna everywhere, in the fire, in the sun, in water, and the other elements, in the hearts of all others, and in one's own heart. In this way, the worshiper will very soon be free.
It's great.
Nice,
Good
right?
stuff.
Bhagavatam just gets right to the heart of it. That these rituals aren't bad. They're good when you understand the purpose of them and you actually engage with them in that way. It's not just in this it's like you get recharged there, right? You get refreshed there. You get purified. Purified is like an interesting word to use in this. Because, like, think about the blood in your body, right? It's flowing all over the body, and it has this purpose, right? It's meant to bring life to every cell in your body, right? To bring new energy. It sustains all the cells in your body. But it also gets, by the food that we eat and what we're exposed to, even potentially, germs and disease and so on, viruses, the blood becomes impure in some way. So it's not just carrying the nutrients and the oxygen that it's meant to refresh everything. Why are you laughing at me? Getting too technical for you here?
No, I just think it's maybe that's just gonna time to upgrade your bio. Medical,
Yes, biologist,
part-time medical practitioner.
part-time. But think about it. That blood will get pure. It will go to different places in your body. It'll go to the lungs, and in the lungs, the carbon dioxide that's in the blood. Look at you, just go. You must have been quite a student in school.
Like, does he know what he's talking about? The blood
I do
goes
know
in
what I'm
his
talking
lungs?
about.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, in your lungs, there's an exchange of the carbon dioxide that's in your blood. It gets exchanged for fresh oxygen.
Okay.
And then it goes through the liver. And in the liver, all these toxins, the liver is like a big filter. It's filtering out all the toxins. And in the kidneys, the same thing, right? It's going through these different places for purification. And it comes through them purified. and then it can bring life, into every cell in the body.
Mm.
That's what a temple is meant for, right? You go into it and you're meant to get purified, right? Like all of the mundane thinking and in the low level thinking that we're stuck with, you're meant to walk into that church or that synagogue or that temple, and it's meant to bring your mind so powerfully to the divine that you get purified. You walk out of there refreshed, and ready to be like a healthy cell in the body. So,
Yeah.
so,
What are we
so
doing wrong if we don't feel like that? What are we doing wrong?
yeah, you got it.
If I still got so much bag and so much issues, what am I doing wrong?
There's some impurity there in the awareness, right? We're meant
I
to
think
bring
you
our
should
awareness
put
into
that
that.
on the board, that reading, and people should read it a few times.
Okay, I can do that.
Whether they're doing some little worship at home, even if they're offering some incense to a picture of
Little
Krishna,
incense. Folks,
or
bring your
even
whole self into it, like
yeah,
Khalil is saying here, right?
offer something. Sometimes people just have a picture of Krishna in their house, and they could just pick a flower and offer a flower.
But
When I
offer
lived
with
in
the
the
whole
city, I would,
self.
buy flowers, or sometimes here in the winter, I'll buy flowers at Trader Joe's and like keep them, and then I offer a flower, stuff
They
like
got
that.
Raghunath. I got these
You're like,
from
that's what I do at Trader
from
Joe's
Trader
too.
Joe's. They got good prices on them.
It's the New York thing to do.
Yeah.
Um, I get it. And so anyway,
So today we're going to read about, if we get through we can wrap up this chapter 4 quickly, I believe. And if we can get into chapter 5, we're going to hear about the birth of Krishna and how someone like Krishna's father, Nanda Maharaj, how he purified his consciousness. All the within Vedic culture, everything, the birth of a child,
hmm
becomes a ritual. There's a ritual aspect to it that's meant to purify one's awareness, just like a liver or the lungs purify the blood or the kidneys. In the same
yeah,
way, we can take these different aspects of our life, inform them with Vedic knowledge, and they can all become how does Prabhupada call it? Purificatory practices.
purificatory. Yeah, it was there in Western religion. I grew up with all this stuff too. You have the what's it called in child's burn? The christening, the baptism, the christening. The, another part I wanted to just scroll out into this church connection again.
Okay. Go ahead.
First of all, there's something in the architecture
Yes.
that's sort of right. So you're going to a holy place, a special place, a magical building compared to all the other buildings. That's special.
Yeah.
You dress up for it.
Okay. Did you
No,
do
that's
that?
Yeah, we dressed up for church. You wear your Sunday clothes, your Sunday best.
Right. Sunday go to meeting.
Sunday what?
Sunday go to meeting. Right. That's
What's
like a
that?
phrase. Sunday go to meeting clothes. You're going to the meeting. You're going to the church.
I
wherever
never
you
heard
meet.
that. Okay. Sunday go to meeting clothes. And then, you know what? The thing I don't jive with is, wearing your
What
shoes,
is it?
wearing your shoes in there.
Oh, okay.
It seems like right. Really? We're gonna wear our shoes in the
Bring those
church?
dirty things into the
These
church.
dirty shoes are stepping on everything.
Yeah, like you don't wear shoes into a mosque, right?
Mosque and like a
And
Sufi
you don't wear them
house.
into
You don't
temple. I
wear
don't think
them.
in a Buddhist temple would you wear shoes?
I think it's like a Western culture thing.
Yeah.
You take them off in a Buddhist temple. Anyway, that's okay though. I think Mara, we're gonna go to church. What do you say? I want to go to church.
Sure.
Gonna take your shoes
Mara's
off.
always up for whatever. Okay.
You gonna take your shoes off when you go in there?
I was thinking we could start with the Church of Dishwashing.
They make you take your hat off in church.
Make you take your hat off because that's like an American custom.
Yeah.
Hats are bad.
Whereas in an Indian temple, you can wear a hat, you can wear a turban, whatever you want on your head. And in the Jews, they actually want to cover their head.
Yeah.
And in the South
they
Indian
wear-
temples, you take your shirt off. Right? Like all the men take their shirt off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, let's get into the Bhagavatam, sir.
Okay, let's do it.
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Before we start in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Preshvabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Tamarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter or Canto 10, chapter 4, text 40. Well, we read 42. You want to read it again?
I don't. I don't think we need to. Why don't we? There's only just a few verses left, so this is just.
Right. 43 is Sukadeva Goswami, the
Okay,
narrator,
if you want to, go ahead.
original speaker of the
Okay.
Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
Thus, having considered the instructions of his bad ministers, right? Kamsa was like doing good there for a while. He was like, you know what? Let's have a
Short
good day.
while.
Let's treat people with kindness. Let's forgive. Let's love.
Let's not kill
And
babies.
let's not kill babies. Baby's good. Me bad. I'm sorry for being me. And then all of a sudden he hung out with his old crew again. And they're like, nah, killing baby good. You know,
Right.
being evil, good. Putting
Right.
putting good people in prison, good.
Dr. Evil.
He's back to being Dr. Evil. After the instructions of his bad ministers, Kamsa, who was bound by the laws of Yamaraj and devoid of good intelligence because he was a demon, decided to persecute the saintly persons, the Brahmins, as the only way to achieve his own good fortune. You know, Christians say this thing too. They say, keep, what is it? Keep the company. Don't keep the company of fools.
Oh,
Don't keep the company of fools, or you become like a fool.
true. Damn fool.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not even you doing something wrong. It's the company that you're keeping do something ridiculous, and you suffer from the shrapnel of their bad choice. What do you think of that,
happens.
Kaustubha?
It happens. I kind of lived a life like that.
Yeah, you did. You did. You suffered. You didn't do anything. I could just see you like, okay, okay, boss.
Why are we chasing this guy in a car right now?
Why are we all punching this guy? You see, right? Someone's making a dumb choice, and you're just like along for the ride.
Yeah.
Happens again and again.
Okay, but let's finish up this chapter though, Raghunath.
Okay.
Although everything you're saying is
These demons, and again, when we say sometimes when you hear the word demons, sometimes I wish we could retranslate this because demons we tend to think of little men with horns and hooves. No,
Yeah.
just like people are against the authority of God and goodness.
But these were actually shapeshifters, Raghunath. We're about to find that out.
Well, they were sort of mystical monkeys, mystical men. These demons, the followers of Kamsa, were expert at persecuting others. Doesn't that sound horrible?
Yeah.
Like these guys who love torture,
Mm.
especially the Vaishnavas, and could assume any form they desired. Okay, they might have been ghoulish. After
Well,
giving
these are going to be the demons that go to Vrindavan and attack Krishna. You know,
yeah,
Trinavarta, all of them.
yeah. After giving these demons permission to go everywhere and persecute the saintly persons, Kamsa entered his palace.
Okay.
Now he already let those Devaki and he's going to re-imprison them. I think
They're still in jail, I think. But did he let them out?
I thought he let them out, but I think he re-imprisons them.
Maybe.
Surcharged with passion and ignorance and not knowing what was good or bad for them, the Asuras, for whom impending death was waiting, began the persecution of the saintly persons. That's that famous verse, Pavritam cha, Nivritam cha,
They don't know what's
Na
right or
jana
wrong.
vitur asuraha. The demons, they don't know what's good and bad.
Yeah.
Just like
I
one.
think the bad is good and the good is bad.
They think the bad is good and the good is bad. Right? My dear king, when a man persecutes great souls, all the benedictions of longevity, beauty, fame, dharma, religion, right? Blessings and promotion to higher planets will be destroyed. Right? This is a good message for us nowadays. You know what I've fortunately stay away from, Prabhu, is Facebook. I don't go on Facebook anymore.
But you did yesterday.
I did because someone said, hey, check out what I did on Facebook, and they sent me a link, and then it opened up Facebook, and it opened up to all this stuff I don't want to see for the most part. Generally stuff I don't. It's definitely first of all, it's
Facebook is prone to arguments and
argumentative, and the problem is we take arguments, what we do in the material world, and we bring them into sacred circles. And then you have people in the
That's the
same.
opposite of the temple thing that we're saying, right? You go into Facebook and you don't get purified like passing through the lungs. You actually get contaminated,
You
right?
get contaminated, like you're going into the sewers.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
sometimes, even if you're reading a devotee thing, there's one comment that's
Oh,
just
yeah.
nasty. Just
Yeah.
one comment that's really like, what the hell?
You know,
And that
Raghunath,
it
it's
can
so
really
important that you
disturb
said
you.
that. Yeah, it's like we need to hear, even within the, you see, when we say someone's a devotee of Krishna, it means like they've decided, I want to get purified. I want that my consciousness go naturally
Mm,
to Krishna and with love to Krishna, I love every living being. But it means we're just starting to practice that. It doesn't mean we've achieved that.
mm.
But look for the people that are devotees that actually embody that. And
Pe-
they're going to become like a liver for you, right? Like they're going to help purify your own kind. But
Sure.
but even though they may be officially kind of officially adopted the moniker in the clothing, the markings of a devotee, we should respect that for sure. We should honor that. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that everything coming through them is necessarily going to be nourishing or helpful. We have to look for where it's truly nourishing, right?
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
good
It's
point.
sometimes it's really disturbing, especially when you're trying to call out other devotees because you don't like what they say or who they. I tell you, when I start hearing criticism on that, it is like it is like drinking poison.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why I'm off. That's why, like on Instagram, it's like people write a little. I don't like when people write those
Instagram's
huge things
better.
on Instagram. It's usually got the room for like one or two sentences.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Okay, that's my thing.
Is there one last verse left in this
Yeah,
chapter?
there is. I'm saving. I'm going to relish it. You know
Okay.
why? Because it's not a race, Kastuba. That's my lesson I've learned in my year 59. It's not a race.
You say that like you think I'm trying to race. I'm not trying to race.
Well, you keep on saying, okay, let's wrap this up. We're going to wrap it up. Here it is. We're wrapping it up.
Well, you see, I kind of tied it. I had a plan here. Where I brought out a nugget that was meant to tie to a broader theme. So if we can get there, that'd be great.
My dear king, when a man persecutes great souls, all his benedictions of longevity. I've read this, right?
Yeah. Beauty,
Longevity,
fame.
beauty,
Yeah, you
fame,
read that.
dharma.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That's the chapter.
Okay.
And we're into the next chapter, sir, which is the meeting of Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev.
So those are both Krishna's fathers in one
Like,
sense.
wait a second. You're Krishna's father. I'm Krishna's father.
No, but Vasudeva isn't going to reveal that. Vasudeva isn't going to say, no, Krishna's actually my son.
All right,
Right?
his lips are sealed.
He's going to let Nanda Maharaj think that that's his little boy.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, text 1 and 2. Sukadeva Goswami said, Nanda Maharaj was naturally very magnanimous, and when Lord Sri Krishna appeared as his son, he was overwhelmed by jubilation. Therefore, after bathing and purifying himself and dressing himself properly, he invited brahmanas who knew how to recite Vedic mantras.
Okay, let's
After,
let's let's pause for one moment, Reverend. Right off the bat, we see. Well, there's a message here, and of course, you could say that when a father has a child born, they naturally feel happy.
oh yeah,
But I think we can read more into that here, right? That the appearance of Krishna brings. It says he's overwhelmed by jubilation, right? If Krishna appears in our mind, we'll feel joy. If Krishna is appearing in our heart, we'll feel joy. When we're not feeling joy, it's actually due to Krishna's presence being covered, right? Krishna's presence being our unawareness of the presence of Krishna.
right.
But when Krishna appears, joy, naturally joy arises.
Mm.
Okay, now we're going to see that, okay, he's so happy. Let me perform the rituals, not because I have to, because he wants to, right? Because he's feeling such joy. He wants to go through these purificatory processes, but he's doing them in full awareness of Krishna and Krishna consciousness.
Love this. Therefore, after bathing and purifying himself and dressing himself properly, he invited brahmanas who knew how to recite Vedic mantras.
Mm.
After having these qualified Brahmins recite auspicious Vedic hymns, he arranged to have the Vedic birth ceremony celebrated for his newborn child, according to the rules and regulations, and he also arranged for worship of the demigods and forefathers.
You know where I've seen this really come to life. like
Where?
this Vedic culture, like in Mayapur, where you have like a community of thousands of devotees living together. I'd imagine it's there, to an extent there in Alachua too, although I haven't been there in so long. But when a child's born, all of these things they do, all the different rituals, they hold ceremonies and they invite all the people to come, and
Yeah.
they have kirtan and they have some katha and they'll have a priest that'll speak to the meaning of the ritual and everyone feels joy.
Yeah. Nanda Maharaj gave 2 million cows, completely
That's
decorated
right.
with 2 million cows, completely decorated with cloth and jewels in charity to the brahmanas. He also gave them 7 hills of grains.
Phew. How
Here you
big were
go.
those hills?
I don't know. Could have been a small hill.
I
Could have
bet it
been
was big.
yeah, covered with jewels and with
Oh,
fine cloth decorated with golden embroidery.
okay.
Okay,
So
Kaustubha, how do you
yeah.
give 2 million cows? That is actually impossible.
Oh,
Or
Raghunath,
is that
I
right?
recently saw an article on this that was all about how to understand these kind of apparently impossible numbers that appear
Right.
like in Bhagavatam and
Where are you
stuff.
going to get 2 million cows? We're going to put 2 million cows.
Yeah.
60 cows. Okay, 60 cows. That's a lot of
Yeah,
cows,
60
but
cows.
two, right? 2 million
So,
cows seems like it's a bird. You give me a little cow, I'll be like, thanks, Kaustubha. You give me 6 cows, I'm like, what do you do to
whoa.
me, Kaustubha? Whoa, 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 whoa! I already had. I've already got a couple cows.
Yeah, I haven't read that article yet. I really should.
Okay,
But
let's.
but 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 I think the direction that it was probably going in was that we're putting kind of a material framework around something that's beyond it, right?
Hmm.
So in other words, in our world, we're limited by material boundaries, and only a
Yeah,
certain number of cows can fit in a certain area of space.
yeah.
The spiritual realm is actually beyond time and space. And so if he wanted to give 2 million cows, he could give 2 million cows. It's like,
But we are on Boma Vrindavan, Vrindavan of the earth now.
yeah, but
Is
he
that
was
still touchable? Are they
Boma
dealing with
Vrindavan
multiple?
is non-different. If you're in that
I
consciousness, you
I
realize it.
understand that, but
Yeah.
does that mean 2 million cows? Or
Yeah,
are
somehow.
we in? It says Boma Vrindavan is multi-dimensional.
And for people that are wondering what he means by Boma Vrindavan, it means that there's the original Vrindavan is the spiritual realm beyond this universe, which wherein the laws of this universe don't operate. And then Krishna recreates that like an embassy of that place, a non-different, just like if
The
you go to
embassy. That's a good
the
example.
American, yeah, you go to the American embassy in any other country, they say the laws of America are actually enacted in that, right?
Mm.
So in one sense, this answers your question. The laws of the spiritual realm are operating in Boma Vrindavan. Although it's on the earth, the laws of the spiritual realm are in effect there. And so, yes, it's beyond time,
Okay,
it's beyond
that's a good
space.
answer right there.
There you go.
So yes, I gave 2 million cows. You know why? I'm in another dimension.
Because I wanted to, and I'm in another dimension that facilitates my
Yeah.
desires to serve Krishna, all right, and serve Krishna's devotees. So
When I
it's
do my
facilitated.
puja, when I do my manasa, when I'm away from my deities, I do my manasa puja. I
Yeah.
give all types of things to these
What do you
deities.
give?
Oh, you kid, cows, cows. I
Who do you
bathe
give
them
them
with
to?
all, huh?
Who do you give them to?
Little Krishna and Radha.
Oh, you give them to Krishna. Okay.
I give them to Govardhan.
All right.
Matter of fact, and they manifest different forms for my pleasure, and
How,
I serve them.
how many
And
cows do you give?
it depends on the day, whatever I'm
Well,
inspired to do.
what's the most you've ever given?
Whatever I think a little cowherd boy could take care of.
You- What if
Seeing
you were an
Krishna not
unlimited
as the
cowherd boy?
unlimited supernatural being as you are, I'm seeing him as a tiny little cowherd
No, no. Well,
child.
my point is,
That
oh, I see. Okay. I see where you're going. Okay,
see, come into my world.
okay.
It's intimate.
But Krishna's got so many cows. Everybody
He's
knows
got a lot
that.
of cows. He's got a lot of cows, but he's a little boy, so he's got to be careful. He likes taking care of the little ones.
Okay. All right.
But
So,
anyway,
any case,
yes.
here's part of
That's a
Vedic.
good answer to the question.
Thank
It's
you.
multidimensional, and
And
yes, you got to be in the multidimensional.
the laws of the spiritual realm are operating within that. Otherwise, what we might consider an earthly realm.
So in that sense, a hill of grain could be,
Huge.
Mount McKinley-ish,
Yes. Yes, it could be.
right? It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be like a pile.
Yeah. That's right. And he's carefully choosing who he's giving. He's giving it to the Brahmins. Now people might say, why do these guys get
I
everything?
know. Why are the Brahmins? Oh, here we go. Your caste system.
Your caste system, these guys get all the privilege.
Yeah.
No, no, no. The reason they were the most trustworthy, right? By giving to them, you knew that you were giving in the best way because they just whatever they receive, they give out again, right? That's part of, the part of the Brahminical code is that you receive charity, but you also give charity. So when you give charity, like you see people give like charity to Radha Swami,
Yeah.
he just turns around and like turns it over to someone else, right? It's like,
I've seen that.
right?
Well, I remember I was in Mayapur once and someone handed him, I was standing and talking to him. Someone said, Maharaj, and just handed him some money.
Yeah.
And he just put the money in my hands. He goes, use this for your farm.
Yeah, it's just like that,
put,
right?
put it in my hand. I was like, all right.
So,
All right.
so the idea is I give to the Brahmins, they are detached. They work for the good of others. They're not sitting on they're not going to bank it and and invest it in,
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. They're going to immediately send that where it needs to go. They're going to send the grain where it needs to go. They're going to send the cows where they need to go. They're going to send whatever wealth they're receiving. You had trustworthy. How do we know they're
It's
trustworthy? Look how
it's
simple they live.
it's the trustworthy class.
It's
If you
yeah.
if you live a simple way, which you do, you know, I can't tempt you with the like, hey, Kaustubha,
We
you
already
want a
answered
gold
it.
watch?
I
Listen,
don't wear a watch.
you let me do a lecture at the Bhakti Center so I
Oh.
can promote my stuff. I will give you my father's gold Rolex. What do you think about that? It's like you're not interested. You don't even have a watch. You don't
It was
care.
so. I
You
was
can't be
thinking.
purchased. Like you're a Brahmin. I get that. And because of that, people can trust you.
I tried. I tried.
That's why sometimes I never liked when like sannyasis wore gold watches and they say, "Oh, well, this was given to me by
It
disciples."
makes you wonder how trustworthy they are.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it questions. So the thing about being a renunciate is live a renunciate life. Don't say, "Well, I'm doing this in yukta vairagya, so I look good in the world." No, you don't look good in the world. People question you more when you have nothing. It
Right.
instills faith in people. It's just like we've created a world where we can't trust the people we're supposed to trust.
Hmm.
I'm just
Right.
I was
Who are
this
the
morning.
trustworthy people in society? Like here's a society where you
Yeah,
had people, right?
I'm going to the doctors, and I was seeing this whole thing back and forth yesterday on Instagram about um, sunblock and how
Oh yeah.
sunblock is, we're putting in our skin, it's going right into our bodies, and
Right. It's
people
real
saying
bad.
you're basically eating it and you're
Well,
creating
that's what they say. You shouldn't put anything on your skin that you
that
couldn't
you won't put
eat.
in your mouth.
Yeah.
So it was a very good statement, but it's been compromised. So this idea we've been compromised. We've been slowly hearing these things. We've been gifted like little things like you need to protect yourself from the sun. You need to be careful with the sun. And next thing you know,
You're
it's
poisoning
become
yourself.
that's the postulate that we rally flag. Cover yourself up, put this on, slap it on. So anyway, it becomes like slow drip
That's
poison, perhaps.
that's
I'm not
that,
saying this is right, but
no, no,
but
no. I get what you're saying. In other
but
words,
so people with profit in mind have sold us something, and it becomes a whole new paradigm. And
right.
we have this medical industry that m- they meet their investors' bottom line, but which is profit to if people stay sick, not curing.
Right.
If people manage right their diabetes, say
Yes.
to cure it, that's no
You,
win for the
you,
investors.
you know,
So it's a
Raghunath.
problematic because we want to go to the doctor and trust them. We
Yeah.
want to go, and it's like, well, who do I hear from? And then you'll hear another report by the doctors or by someone else and say, no, 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 actually, sun can cause problems. And so I'm sitting there, a dum dum, reading like a very qualified independent report from these people. Then I'm reading an independent report from these
Right.
people, and I was like, all right, who
That can't
can I
make any sense.
trust?
Right. Who can I? Raghunath, what the example that you brought up is so telling. Because within the Vedic culture, we look at people. We might look at it and say, "Oh my God, they had all these divisions and all these privileges granted to people in these different um, divisions. Why do we need any of that in society?" But what the Vedic culture did was it would say, "Look, there are going to be some people that live so simply that they're totally trustworthy because you see you can't buy them.
They
Now,
can't be
now,
purchased.
now you take a business person like a Vaishya. We all recognize that it's likely they have a little greed in them.
That's
That's
why they're doing
okay.
this.
That's okay. There's a way to purify that. They need to give in charity. Now, what happens in a culture like our own, in the Vedic culture, there's the Kaviraj, right, who's a Brahminical doctor, right? You come, they take your pulse. They're going to share. They care nothing about, in your dealing with them, their only motive is to bring you health. Business is not even there, right? You give them a donation of whatever you can afford. They're not dependent on it at all. If you give them a little, they're happy. If you give them a lot, they're happy.
You ever see
Whatever.
Triguna?
Triguna? Oh, in Delhi?
Yeah.
I never went
In the
to
old
him.
days, there was this very famous Ayurvedic doctor who was like 80 years old. He was on the cover of the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. They have 3 doctors on that on their Ayurvedic medicines.
Acha.
He was the famous one. Trigona was the famous.
Yeah.
And I did ever tell you that I went there sick. Was me and Parmananda did. We went there sick, and I got there like I thought it was early. It was like 9 o'clock. I,
Whole line
took
of
a
people.
train from Vrindavan, and the place was packed with like 200 people waiting in line.
No
I was like,
kidding.
this is it. But I'm dressed like a brahmachari, and they just see me come in, and they point to me and
Bring him
walk
to
me
the front
right
of the
to
line.
the front of the line. I was like,
Sadhus are respected.
yeah, like sadhus are respected. Little do they know, I'm just like some punk dirtbag from the Lower East Side dressed up like a sadhu. But the idea is, you know what? You're a sadhu. We all
Everybody accepts.
communally accept that you go first.
Yeah, right.
And then they did the pulse, looked in my eye, did all these things, told me a few herbs to get. And I was like, well, what do you charge? He goes, just leave a donation.
Yeah,
Leave a
there you go.
donation.
Right. So my point is, what we've done, because we don't have these clear categories, we let the people that have some greed in them, the business people, which is, it's natural that there's a little bit there, we let them take over the medical industry and turn it into a business, right? And the results are what we have now, right? Which is like a lot of sickness, people chronically, spending tons of money on medicine and what you were saying, we don't know who we can trust.
Yeah, and that's what really boy. I'm not even trying to point fingers here, but when the people we're supposed to invest our trust in are compromised, it leaves the
Cynicism.
the citizens just like not knowing
They can't
where
find
to
the
turn.
shelter that they need because
Yeah.
there's no one you
The
can
whole
trust.
pandemic was like this. We're just like desperately trying to
true.
find people are good people. They just want to find what to do and they want to do what's right.
Yeah.
So we have one side telling people you need to take this vaccine right now. If you're not taking, you're killing everybody. And the
Yeah,
other side saying, no,
it's
these
killing
guys
you.
haven't tested the vaccines
The
yet.
vaccine is killing everybody.
The pandemic's going to kill everybody, and everybody's hating the other side because we
exactly.
have these two different authorities giving some information, and then you have other people trying to shut down the conversation for the benefit of everybody.
Right.
Oh my God!
Ay, ay, ay.
Ay, 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 ay. Now I'm upset.
We never got to the verse that I was supposed to get to. But we'll do that on Monday. We'll get there on Monday.
All right, we ready for some takeaways?
Sorry about that. We
No,
were.
no,
It
it was
is a
good.
race, Kaustubha.
good.
It is a race.
We didn't get there.
It is a competition. It's a race. It's a race to the finish line before death. Sorry about that. All right.
All right, make your real world your temple.
Yeah,
The whole world can be your
do
temple.
that, Kaustubha. It'd be good for you.
All right.
Spirituality isn't a burden on the to-do list.
Raghunath, it's
Should it
not
be?
Raghunath, it's not a burden. Okay.
It's
Try
not.
to remember that going into today.
Holding on to that, breaking off a piece of it and handing it to you as a communion
break
wafer.
a piece of that off, okay?
Break a little piece, giving you that communion wafer of joy.
The real practice is carrying sacredness into your messy, ordinary world.
It's all practice, Kaustubha.
And it's
It's
all messy.
practice. You don't know how to know how messy my world is. It's interesting.
What?
When you start to break Dharma, your world becomes real messy real quick.
Dharma breaks you.
Dharma breaks you, and your world becomes like messy.
It does.
Like, what have I done?
Oh, of course, I didn't know if I want to get into this, but you've probably seen within the past 24 hours or so that thing that's like all over the internet where there's this big CEO.
Yeah, I saw that.
I
He
didn't
broke
see it.
Dharma. You didn't see it?
What do you do?
It was a big CEO of like one of these Silicon Valley things or something like that.
What did he do?
He was at a Coldplay concert with this woman who was like also a very high level person in that company.
Is that bad?
Well, they had a kiss cam at the concert, so they're taking this kiss cam going around and showing different people in the audience, and then they show the two of them, and they're both married to other people,
Okay.
and he's embracing her from behind, and they're dancing kind of together,
That's not good already.
and then the kiss cam comes on them, and Chris Martin, the singer, is like saying, "Hey, look at these two over here! Like they're so much in love." Whoa! And then she covers her face, and then she hides, and he's like gets out of the screen, and he says, "Either they're having an affair or they're very shy." You know, like but,
Do they
but now-
kiss?
they didn't have to kiss. He was embracing her from behind and dancing. And
Sometimes music can do that to you, but
no, we're not gonna. Music doesn't do that.
No.
Sometimes music.
Music doesn't do that.
So
shit.
that thing blew overnight. It blew up everywhere. But you break Dharma, Dharma
You break
breaks
down,
you.
things get messy, and then you gotta
Things
like,
get messy.
oh God.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
it's a lesson for you.
And the
Just
higher you're
keep
living,
it clean.
you know,
Keep it clean.
thank you. The taller they are, the harder they fall. It's like you break Dharma, and Dharma breaks you in a big way.
Yeah, it gets messy.
It's messy.
All right.
There's a takeaway for you. Don't
Yeah.
embrace the HR manager.
All right. Don't keep the company of fools, or you suffer the shrapnel of their bad choices.
Yeah, catch a little shrapnel.
Wherever you find yourself, you can always bring your mind to God.
Yeah.
You can.
We've created a world where we don't know who we can trust.
Hi,
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah. I trust you.
Oh, thank you. I trust you.
I do
too.
trust Kaustubha.
Me too.
I
Yeah.
trust
Oh,
you
I
too.
trust both of you.
Trust me? You sure?
Mostly.
Mostly. I'll take that. If you trust me mostly, I'm happy with that.
Okay, great. That'll work. That'll work.
All right. 2 million cows is a burden. How about 6?
Well, make it
That
6.
was funny. It's a burden in my 3-dimensional reality.
For little baby Krishna, on the rasa level, it is. Not on the tattva level. On the tattva level, Krishna can accommodate unlimited cows.
Billions.
But little baby
Billions.
Krishna in rasa, rather not worried.
Needs a little bit of cow.
And break Dharma, and Dharma breaks you.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, people, that's it. That's the show today. Thanks for joining us. Nice to be back with our peeps.